Hi guys, welcome back to Cloud Genius. So in this video, I'll be taking you through the guided lab for Model 3, that is exploring AWS identity and access management. I'm going to give you a systematic walkdown of how the lab should be tackled. So yeah, stay tuned and then look at how I'm going to do. You can follow along if you want to practice. You can also follow along with what I'm doing. You can, or maybe you can just watch the video and use it as a source of means to learn. Okay, so first of all, you start with the lab by clicking on Start Lab. Let this AWS portion turn to green, where you can now log on to your management console. Because I have already loaded mine, it's already green. It will take some time, 2 or 3 minutes should be okay. Maximum, depending on your internet, maximum should be 5, 6, or maybe 10. Yeah. So I'm in now. Now let's look at what the lab requires us to do. So we are working on identity and then access management. First of all, we are going to cut off all this section. So what is tax one saying? We are supposed to explore users and then group inspect policies. Okay, so let's search for IAM. All right. So IAM. Okay, let's first of all look at users. Yeah, so there are three current users that we are having. There is a user one. Okay. They don't belong to any group. You can see it right here that they don't belong to any group. So yeah, that is it. They don't belong to any group. So let's look at the user two. User two also don't belong to any group. So they all have the console access, but they don't belong to any user group. You can see it right here that they have a console access, but they don't belong to any user group. So let's look at user three. Okay, the same thing is happening here. User three also does not have any user group. So let's go back to explore the groups as well. So let's look at the user groups. Okay, we have EC2 admin, EC2 support, and then S3 support. Okay, yeah. So basically, let's look at the policies that are attached to this. So this one is having EC2 admin policy. Yeah, we can view the policy and also look at what the policy is doing. Yeah, okay. So this is the policy that has been attached. This is a managed policy from AWS. So it was already created in the system for us, and that is what you can see here. Let's look at the EC2 support. This one too has a permission that is attached, which is saying EC2 read only, meaning you can only look at the EC2. You can't delete, you can't make provisions, you can't make edits or something or that sort. Yeah, you can't do any of that because you. All right, so that's fine. We are not going to. Yes, so I'm not going to have much exploration over that because we already know what to do. So, yeah, kindly hold on, give me some few seconds. All right, so let's go back to the user group again. Yes, I'm going to say continue. Yeah, all right, I'm going to say user groups. Yeah, so EC2 support has already been viewed. Let's go back to the other one. Let's look at S3 support. Yeah, it also has a permission that is attached that is letting the user read only from the S3 bucket. All right, so I'm just going to take you through the systematic way. So let's look at the next task that we are supposed to do. I think we've explored all of that. So the what is it called? The policy was written in JSON, and that is exactly what we've done. We explore the group, and then we explore. Yes, you can see it here. The policy is written in JSON. So I'm not going to waste time on all of that. So what are we supposed to do? Okay, we are supposed to add the users to their various group. So we will add user one to S3 support, user two to EC2 support, and then yes, that's basically what we are going to do. So let's go back to the management console and then let's go to user groups. Okay, so let's do this and then add users. So which one are we in? EC2 admin. So if we are confused, let's go back to look at the EC2 admin. We are supposed to add the user tray to the EC2 admin. Yes, so EC2 admin, add user, and then we are supposed to add the user tray. So add user. Yeah, so that's all. The user tray is now added to. So let's go back to users. So let's click here to users. And then when we check user tray, you see that now user tray is in group, which is EC2 admin. Okay. So let's go back to the groups and then EC2 support. What are we going to add? So let's go to add user. Let's revert back to this. EC2 support is also going to be added to user 2, or user 2 will be rather added. So let me close this so we don't get confused. Okay, so we're adding user 2 and then I'm saying add. Yes, I'm done with that. And then I'm going back to the group again. I'm selecting the EC2 admin. I think we are done with this, right? We should be on S3 support now, if I am correct. Yeah. So, okay. So the last group is going to be S3 support, which S3 support is going to be for user one. So let's open the S3 support group and then say add users and then select the user one and say add. All right. What are we supposed to do next? So adding users, we've already added all these users already, so no need to waste time on that. Okay, we sign in and then test it out. Okay, so what I am going to do is that I am going to use Mozilla Firefox. So let me try and provision a Mozilla. I'm saying no. Okay, and then I am going back to any of the users. So I'll go to the users and then I'll select one user one, which is for S3, and then what are we asked to do next? Yes, so user one. So let's select the URL of user one. So it is right here. So all right, yeah, let's try to log in. Let me look at security credentials. Yes, so the console URL is right here. Let's copy that and then no, go to Firefox, or you can open Cognito mode and then do that, but I'm preferring to use Firefox over here. So paste that and go. You'll be prompted a username and then a password. So what do? Let's go back here. Let's go back to this and then go back to the projects that we are doing. So scroll down until you see username, user dash one, and then password. So yeah, let's copy this and then put it here and also go back to this. So let's copy this password also and then put it at the password section and then say sign in. Yeah, so you should be able to log in with those details that were given to you. Not now, I don't need it to do anything. So all right, we have S3 support, so let's try to view EC2 and let's see. That is user one only has S3 support, right? So let's try to provision an EC2 instance and let's see, or even let's try to see if we already have instances running. So let's look at instances. Yeah, we don't have anything running. We don't even have the permissions to, you see, we don't have the permissions to. So you see, you are not authorized to perform these operations. That is because we don't have the permission to do that. Okay. So we can only look at S3. So let's look at S3. Yeah. Yeah, we can look at S3, and then we will be then we will okay. Yeah. So this is S3, and then let's look at it. So it's a bucket that was pre-created for us during the creation of the lab. Yeah, so we have access to it. I can upload something into the bucket. I can do anything that I want to do. I can add files to the bucket. But currently, I don't want to do any of that. So I'm just closing for you to know that you can, of course, do something to the buckets like this. Okay. Yeah, so let's look at the next thing that we are supposed to do. Yes, we choose the service S3. We've done that. We've even chosen EC2. We realized that the EC2 threw an error because we didn't have the permission to do that. All right. So what are we supposed to do? We are supposed to sign out, and then, all right, we test the user two. So I'm going to test the user two. Okay. So what will I do? I'll test the user two. I'm going to do sign out and then test the user two. So I'm going back here to my lab, and then I'm looking for users. I'm going to the user two. I'm opening it, going to security credentials. I'm copying the management console URL, and then I'm coming back to this. I am pasting it here. It is also going to prompt me for password, just like the first one did. So I'm reverting back to the lab. So I'm copying the user two, coming back here, and then I'm saying V, pasting this. Then I'm going back to the lab to copy the lab password. So you can type or copy it. Okay, yeah, I prefer to copy it so that it will let me, I don't know what I'm trying to be faster or what I'm beating time. I can really tell. So yeah, we are here again. This one too has been successful in logging in. You can see that it is operating in the Stockholm region. So let's look at what is happening. Okay, so let's go back to the lab to see what we entitled user 2 to do. So what were they doing? EC2 support. Okay, so we should be able to view EC2 now. So I'm going to do EC2, or just go back. Let me take you back and then show you how to do it. So just search for EC2 right here. It was already visited. That's why it's showing in my recent. So look for EC2, go to instances. We should see an instance running because now we have the permission. Oh, okay, we don't have any instances running, but you see we have the options to look if there is any instance running. So let me see running. We don't have any instances. Let me see stopped. We don't have any stopped. Terminated, we don't have anything. Pending, we don't have anything. Shutting down, we don't have anything. Stopping, we don't have anything like that. Okay, so all states, let me try to launch an instance and then see if we can launch. So let me call the instance ec2 dash server. Yeah, your lab does not require for this, but I'm only practicing it just to tell you how it's supposed to be done. So proceed without a key pair. I don't need to do any other thing again. So I'm saying, yeah. So we don't have the permission also to provision an instance. That is because it could be that we've been given the permission to read only. We can I mean write to the instance, so we can't do anything to the instance. We can only come and view it. You remember from the user one, we couldn't even view the instances dashboard at all. But with this one, we've been able to view. We just can create the instances. All right, so I'm saying cancel. I understand. Then I'm going back to the lab. Okay, I'm looking at what they want to be done again. Okay, so they are saying that we should make sure we are in the North Virginia region. So, okay, so let me look at where my lab is operating from. Let me do that by going to the side. So I'm in the North Virginia region. Okay, so let me go back here and then navigate to the North Virginia region, I think I should have access to the EC2. They should have instances running on there. Yes, so we have an instance already running here. That is why we've been able to see it. So let's select that. And then they say we should try to stop it. So let's do stop instance. Let's say yes, stop. We want you to stop the instance. Currently it's running. So look here. Okay. So failed to stop the instance because you are not authorized to perform this. Yes. So that is because you are allowed to read only. You can view it, but you can stop it. So that is some of what IAM can do. So yeah. So IAM is a very powerful tool on AWS that you have to take a look at. Okay, so we were not able to see an error message will appear says that you are not authorized. Yes, of course, we run into an error. So let's look at the S3. Choose S3, you search in the bar whether you can find an error message you say don't have the permission. Right, so let's go back to the Mozilla. Let me try to look for S3. And then yeah, we should run into an error. We just want to demonstrate that you don't have. So let me try and do this. Let me do general purpose bucket. Yes, you see the error is right here. Access is being denied because we are not authorized to perform this action. Okay. So yeah, that is it. That is the basic thing. So you can test for IAM user 3, but I'm not going to do that. So yeah, I think basically I'm done with what I have to do. So that's all I'm going to submit. You can go ahead and test for user 3. I am not going to do that. So yeah, that is all. So the testing, we don't have any changes to do again. The testing is just to validate if you are able to log in successfully. And that's exactly what I have done. So you've seen that we've demonstrated. So you can go ahead and then log into this. What are they supposed to do? Okay, so for practical sake, let's log in as the user 3 and then try to terminate the instance to see, just like they are requesting us to see. If you cannot terminate the instance, then you might be okay. So let's go back to this. Let's log out of user 2 and then try to sign in as a user 3. Let's see if you have access to this. So go back to the users because we want to copy the URL user 3 and then security credentials. Let me copy this, come back here, say this. So go back to the lab and then copy the username and the password. Copy. And then control plus AV, going back here and then say password. V. Yeah, and then try to sign in. We should make sure that we are in the North Virginia region. So I'm going to change here to North Virginia to see. So we want to terminate or stop an EC2 instance. So I'm going to do EC2. Okay, so I'm doing instances because I want to see the running instance. Yes, so it's already running. You can see it right here. That's the instance is running. So let's try to use user 3 to see if it has the action to stop the instance. Okay, so successfully what initiated stopping of the instance. So it is stopping the instance because it has the permission to do so. Look at here, it is saying stopping, it is changing it to stopping because yes, of course, it has the permission to do that. Okay, so that is all for this lab, and then yeah, let's submit to see if we are able to. So let's do submit. Let's do yes. Let's see what we will be scoring. All right, so we've scored the total marks. That is 15 over 15. So yeah, that is all. Yeah. So thank you all for coming around. I'll see you next time. Don't forget to subscribe, like my videos, share with your friends who are also looking for these solutions, and then request for the videos that you want me to post on my channel. I'll see you next time. Have a nice time. All right.